Let's try and post a message in the Discord and see if they can get a couple more people into the direct chat. Hmm. Is everything working right on your end, gang? Hmm. So y'all can hear me right now, because as it stands right now, I think I can see a couple people messaging in chat. So if I do this, y'all can see the hand flickers. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. The reason why I was confused, sorry gang, is because it's saying an error on my side, but you guys are doing okay? Hmm. The mic quality. Is there something that I can do about that? Is anyone else having any problems with the mic quality? The better question is there something I can do about that? Well, anyways, it's a little bit hazy. The camera's a little bit hazier than usual. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Most of them are from my Discord. Check out the Discord. Join the Discord. Have I mentioned the Discord yet? All right. Well, in that case, since I'm seeing concurrent viewers and I'm also seeing plenty of people who I know about, I'm going to go ahead and start with an intro. Hey, this is Richie here from Rougen TCG, and today I think it's time that you helped me out just once in a while. See, what I've got right here is an empty template of 9 cards. It's my current format that I'm using to make cards for Desperado West. Now, the hard part of making cards for Desperado West is actually thinking of cards for Desperado West, which is why I'm leaving that up to you this time. I need about 9 cards to fill in here that you're going to watch me print, produce, and make colored live. And coloring with me is a nightmare. Now, I'm going to be looking in the chat as often as I can, but I mean, I'm only human, so I might miss a few things. Feel free to post any ideas that you have for a card that's at least tangentially cowboy. Let's see if I can find somebody in the chat who can think of a card idea first. The first one that I saw was a Western fortune cookie, which I don't know will makes any sense. But that's okay. Okay, the next one is Neko with a gun scythe. Now that is from Ruby, I'm pretty sure. And also, what does that have to do with cowboys? I think of a merchant when I think of the desert. Stargazer Nazma. Okay. A lot of more broad ideas are finally stepping up to the plate. Let's see if we can do something with that. A killer whale. Someone just messaged gun. A Rugen horse. Gosh, I love my audience. A merchant that whenever it's played, you can send a card or currency or something. You can try to card or currency or something with that letter. Okay, I'm seeing the word merchant more than once. I'll make it work. Now, with a merchant, first thing that I imagined or pictured in my head was some form of, okay, I'll just start drawing it because I don't know what it's called. Uh, there's these things that used to exist that I'm at least acutely familiar with. It was like a group of caravans that you would use to sell things or market. And I'm going to try and do something with that. Now, what's actually interesting here is that, from what I understand, the way that I've been doing my effect cards has been just taking my white out, which, by the way, can't recommend it enough. Apparently, you have to be 18 to buy it because people are sniffing it nowadays. What does society come to? What's essentially come down to is I have to white out the pieces to make effect cards, and then I'll be able to do that too. So nothing's off the table, gang. If you can think of a good idea for an effect, full effect, or creature, just let me know. A merchant sounds to me like a regular creature, but I guess we'll see. It's hard to say for 100% certain. I also understand that most of you won't be able to see the cards that I'm sketching right now, so I'll kind of get out of the sketching pretty fast. You should be able to see them once they're actually being hard lined, though. If any of you have any ideas for the names, okay. One name that I saw that caught me immediately was Palm Reader Mahala. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down as the name for the next card because that seems like a pretty thought out name. Now that I've done that, if we have any names for this merchant card, we'll see if we can figure that out. If anything else, you guys can go ahead and let me know of a couple other ideas that you may have. Merchant Gale. Snake Oil Salesman. I love your enthusiasm, but we already have a card named that. Amazingly, it's the exact same name. Is that a Brawl Stars reference? It is not. I wish I was that clever. I don't really think of references so much as I think of names and they immediately stick to my head. Shady Merchant. Merchant Sloth. I'm pretty sure that Laszlo the Sloth just wants me to name any card a sloth. So maybe if we could find some card to do something with sloth, then we could appease Laszlo the Mighty. Kathy the Merchant. I do like the idea of Shady Merchant because the first thing that made me think of was maybe some kind of mirage where it's the only place that's cool in a very hot desert. Tumbleweed. We actually have a card called Tumbleweed. The Tumbleweed cards are common to it, one attack, two health with the effect every Tumbleweed played gives every other Tumbleweed plus one forever. I mean, it's actually kind of an entire concept for a deck list. Full effect, Scythe Revolver. Add +2/+0 to one creature for the next 6 turns. I feel like we can make that a bit stronger. Honestly, something to do with an equip card. There haven't been a necessity. Let's say words, Richie. There haven't been exactly any equip cards added in Desperado West, which is absolutely something we can change. Generally, when it comes to equip cards, the baseline stats are +2/+2. Charming Fraud. Okay, I like the idea of fraud. We can get behind that. Water can or a water bucket. Okay, I can get behind that. Just got to figure out what purpose it might serve. Listen, guys, I'm just the muse. My job is not to come up with the ideas, it's to take your ideas and inspiredly place them upon the page. Believe me when I say I'm cool with just about anything, so long as it's at least tangentially cowboy related. Okay, well, I'm realizing now that I probably shouldn't have erased that, but I live my own destiny. Tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and start some basic sketching for Palm Reader Mahala because that seems like a fun thing to do, and then we'll see exactly what we can see in the chat after a little while's passed while I'm working on Palm Reader Mahala. Now, obviously, the first thing you think of when you think of a palm reader is just some crazy person with crystals all over their face, but maybe we could do something a bit more creative than that. Hard to say. It's interesting. A lot of the names that I'm seeing in the chat, I won't pick anyone out for fear of uh, ostracizing someone. a lot of them seem to be mostly related to just like actual names and then whatever they do. I think it's because Palm Reader Mahala was the only one so far that I've accepted so far. Believe me when I say I'm more open to concepts of just like crazy names, even like names that are describing an entire unit of people. I picked Palm Reader Mahala because it was actually mentioned in the Discord. Did I mention the Discord? You should go to the Discord. Check out the Discord. It was mentioned in the Discord many times, and it should be part of an archetype, or it was part of an archetype concept that was presented to be called the Fortune Keepers. Now, what should a palm reader be doing with their hands? Let's see. I'll go ahead and put someone's hand that's out of frame that they're reading the palm of. Now, which way is my fingers go? Which way is my fingers go? Let's go, Richie. Why don't you just learn English, dude? I'm seeing a horse more than once. If any of y'all could think of some ideas for a horse card, I'm all ears. I'm seeing a couple more concurrent viewers than were previously spoken to when I did my intro. So in that case, hey, our current concept right now was going to take these 9 card templates and we're going to make them into 9 cards based off of viewer suggestion. Person who can control snakes. Hey, Zeekers. I'm seeing a lot of friendly faces that are familiar from the Discord. Dust Rebel. What an interesting name concept. Sounds like the name of a horse in a horse racing competition. Or is it Dust Commander? If your opponent plays Dust Bowl and you play Dust Rebel, does the dust just disintegrate? I don't understand. Ooh, see, now we're getting into the good stuff now. A Snake Charmer. I'm going to go ahead and put that as the name of the next creature. Because that's just fantastic. What rarity do you reckon that Palm Reader Mahala should be? My first thought was rare because it looks like it's a single person. But I'm more than okay to make Mahala just the name of a race and then make it a common. Hmm. I'm seeing rare. Looks like it's mostly rare. If I can get a couple more people to agree on rare, then I'll go ahead and just make Palmer Mahala rare. Pamela, 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 Pamela. Yeah, well, there we go. Let's go ahead and make Pamela Mahamala rare. Palm Reader Mahala, not Pamela Hamala Mamala. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start doodling a basic art for the Snake Charmer. In case it wasn't obvious, because we're live right now, it's a bit more difficult to actually manipulate my diction properly because I can't just cut out all the times that I mess up. And so a lot of times whenever I mess up, you may hear me go, blue. That's me trying to loosen up my lips so that I increase and properly dictate the things that I'm trying to get out of my stinking head. But I'm off script here, gang. There couldn't be a script for a live video. I don't think. Maybe I should try that next time. A lantern. Okay. We could make that into equip cards if you're interested in that. Again, gang, I'm just a muse here. Just trying to figure out or translate what you guys can present to me into the game. Because what I want to do here is I want to leave with cards that you guys created, not the ones that I did. I'm also seeing a lasso. Hmm. What is the most common music note? So I want to add that. I'm just going to go ahead and go with the basic like circle line. I'll do like one of those ones that are stuck together, the conjoined twin, and then like the one that has like the two wings. Okay, fine by me. I should probably put some snakes in Snake Charmer's art. You know, in hindsight, Lost Oasis. Okay, I'm totally behind it, but what might it do? Oh, by the way, if I erase, I may very well shake the entirety of my system. Let's try and not erase so much, which you know doesn't sound super possible. Let's see. What kind of hair should I give this snake charmer? I don't really know what a snake charmer is supposed to look like. Maybe I should give him like snake hair like Medusa has. I don't think Medusa charmed snakes though. I think that she was snakes. I also super, super, super hate snakes. So let's try and get done with this art as fast as possible. How am I recording this? That's a fantastic question. The way that I've personally figured it out is that currently I'm using a website called Melon app or Melon, which I'm using on my phone to transfer into just about any streaming service platform that I could find. Now, it doesn't let me see the comments so good. So what I have to use is I have a computer on the side that I'm using to read the comments that currently is just constantly saying that an error is occurring, which I guess isn't true because as it stands right now, it seems like everybody's listening to me just fine. But yeah, I can't recommend this Melon thing enough. Target card, it gains 1 attack, 3 health for the rest of the game. You know what that might be called? I want to pressure you guys to get effects and names into your effects and names that you present. Because I want to make sure that I get the cards exactly as you're looking for them. Remember, I'm just the muse. I'm the mere puppeteer that presents a concept. It's up to you to fill this canvas. It's your canvas. Also realizing now that this is going to feel like a really strange Rougen TCG video because it's missing the background noise. I'm not constantly talking really fast. And I'm not going to constantly edit myself out every few seconds. So this is barely going to feel like a Rougen TCG video. Let's give this guy some fluffy hair. I think fluffy hair is appropriate. I don't have very many fluffy-haired individuals. You can also kind of hear my thought process as I make videos, or make cards even. Snake Charmer is going to be a common, because the way that I normally make my card amounts of rarities is that I'll put 3 rares, and then 6 commons generally, or I'm going to put 2 rares and a legendary, and then 6 commons. All right, I'm seeing a lot of Revolver. Now I'm going to have to simplify that or make it a little bit more kid-friendly. So I'm going to go ahead and take the first idea that I see right now, which is some sort of cursed revolver that develops your opponent, and I'm going to go ahead and make it a different name than Revolver because I'm trying to make it a bit more kid-friendly. Let's go ahead and go with the term 6-shooter. And then I do like the idea of it being cursed, which can make it kind of spooky, and I can use purples and whatnot. Sand Shroud. Target a card. It can't be targeted by anything for 3 turns. I really like that concept. I don't know about the name Sand Shroud, but I could totally imagine that just being a card that prevents your opponent from attacking something that you want to have alive on the field. Okay. It can't be targeted by it. That sounds a little too good, though. I was going for it. Yeah, the person who proposed cursed just revolver wanted it to be edgy, which totally makes sense. But I'm a bit more kid friendly than that, so well, I'm gonna go with the term cursed six shooter, which is this it's just pretty much the exact same concept. I'm seeing Tornado Summoner. If you have any ideas for what that might be or how that might work, I'm all ears. Just make sure that you post a concept and a name. Believe you me, I'd love to add any concept of cards you can come up with that isn't PG 14 and above. But I just got to know what it does, you know? I'm sure you have a great idea in your head, but you got to present that idea to me, otherwise I'll never know about it. And believe me, I'm back to drawing snakes again. What am I drawing snakes for? I got to work on this cursed six shooter. Think about it like this. You also can't target that card with your own effects. I see. Now, can the card that's currently using what's currently called the Sand Shroud, can that be affected? Can that attack things? Can that target things for attacks? If so, that may genuinely be a little bit too strong. I'm open to the concept. I just think that it may be a little too strong. Sand Dune Lizard, 2/3. The effect is that it's PG-14. I need new, viewers. At least this time it wasn't one of my Discord mods. By the way, join the Discord. You should join the Discord. Have you checked out the Discord, by the way? Anyways, but yeah, there's this running joke that I have in my Discord server where my mods always say things that are at least tangentially, vaguely threatening. And then by the end of the situation, I always feel the need to remind them that I should probably get new mods. In fact, many of my mods are here right now watching live, so they can hear me say this. Sorry, I'm pretty new here. How does the stats go? Generally, base stats are 4 attack, 4 defense. And those can be changed from cards like Cozy Camp to have 5 attack, 3 defense, or they can be like cards that have an effect but have to have their stats taken down, so 3 attack, 4 defense. Yeah, my mods are now replying, hey, stop trying to replace this. I would if I could, believe you me. Alright, now what's a curse look like? I'm gonna say it looks like Drippy Purple, which sounds like the name of a mumble rapper. Hey, Bella, remember when you ate those cards? Want a fist fight? Her little clackety feet or might ruin my recording audio. I really hope they don't, but they might. Most moderation privileges come from me and Mello combined because Mello knows 100 things more about Discord than me. If Mello's open to the concept of giving you moderator, Theo, then I'm more than okay with giving it to you myself. Because I know you, I know you're trustworthy. I just don't know if Mello needs more mods. Oh, by the way, people who are not familiar with our Discord so much, which you should be, by the way, have you checked out the Discord? Go check out the Discord. The Discord's pretty cool. I'd recommend the Discord. Uh, there's this person that I work with named Mello, who's my admin, which is just pretty much the one of my moderators, but they have taught me a lot about Discord, and so I allow them to influence my decisions when it comes to doing things on Discord. Plus, I don't know how to make you a mod even if I want it to. I kind of got to ask Mello to do that for me. I'm not super technologically savvy, which I think might be something that surprises people who are just familiar with YouTube. Anyways, I'm gonna stop drawing curse marks. I'm not Sasuke. Any other ideas for cards? I really like the idea for. Okay, well, I think that this clueless person may be trolling because they said the word tornado summoner, and then I asked them what it did. So if you keep doubling stuff, I'm gonna fight you. If I asked them what it did, and they just said that it summons tornadoes. I understand that it summons tornadoes. I just got to know what else it does. There are cards that are tornadoes, like Twister and Dust Bowl. I don't suppose that it brings any of those out. That could be possible. Maybe a tornado is a type of token, like hostages are, which are like 1/1s or 2/1s that attack directly the second they come out. I could imagine something like that. I'm looking for your ideas, though. I'm not going to keep presenting concepts, you know? It's not, this isn't my time, it's yours. Let's see. Now, what are some other ideas that we've had so far? If you have any ideas, please feel free to drop them down in the chat. I'm looking at the chat now. Well, I just alt tabbed on accident. There we go. I'm seeing the merchant again. We actually have a merchant card already. I'm open to making two if you want me to. Make it a micro type if you're interested. I'm seeing Dune Crawler Worm. Dunes are a cool concept. Worms are a scary concept. I think I could make that work. Now, we already have 4 attack, 4 health creatures, but we can make it something else that isn't a 4 attack, 4 health creature. How about a 6 attack, 2 health creature, or even a 2 attack, 6 defense creature? I think I'm going to go with, because underground and well protected and well fortified, I'm going to go with 2 attack, 6 health. And then I'm going to be able to make it. The term they used was Dune Crawler Worm. Let's go ahead and go with that exact name because I don't see anything controversial about it. That seems like a common to me. You know, just a big bug hiding in the desert sands that can strike you down at any moment. Yeah, that's just common. It just happens. I need to start adding more cactus. I haven't added a cactus in any of my cards in once in a while. So I think it's time that I really step the game up on cactus fun and love. Give me the Wandering Merchant, 2/3, with the effect that this card can be played. The card that you play next costs less. I need this to be a cat person. I understand that you need to be a cat person, Theo. That's kind of your thing. Now, where would I draw? I'm thinking of the Eater of Worlds from Terraria. Maybe that's a bit too large for a common. Let's see. Let's take a second to think about this. Because the design of the worm is pretty important, I'd say. I don't suppose anybody else knows what I'm talking about when I say Terraria. But there's this big spooky lizard. It's not a lizard. Eater of Worlds. Yes. Seems like people do know what I'm talking about. A high damage, low health card. The effect is to take damage from the other player's field. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Now that you've told me what Tornado Summoner does, now that you've told me what Tornado Summoner does, I'm more than interested in it. Let's go ahead and add that as our next card. Well, if it terrifies you, I probably shouldn't make the card based around Eater of Worlds. Let's see if we can think of something a bit more wholesome for our friend. Hmm. Let's try and maybe we should embrace the worm aspects. You know the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob? Maybe we could tune into that more than not. Nomad Mercenary. As for the appearance, I was thinking of something like Vaki from Bionicle. I'll be sure to Google that. I have access to the internet. I'm not as familiar with Bionicle lore. I just hate fighting it. Oh, I see. My mistake. Well, even so, we probably shouldn't base our designs off of things that already exist in different games. Not to say that I would draw with the exact same style. Why can't I think of words whenever I'm trying to think of words? I want to think of words sometimes. All right, just some basic worm stuff, you know, bull horns, really long. Worms have long. That's something that I know about worm. One thing you gotta know about worm. For sure gotta know that. The best part of this video is that later on, when I'm trying to like make this video watchable for people who aren't there, I gotta rewatch all this. I'm gonna forget every single thing that I said. All right, now that we've gotten that taken care of, let's move on to Tornado Summoner. Now, Tornado Summoner had an interesting concept, which was that it had high stats, but it also takes the damage that they take on the field. So the way that I'm imagining that works is that any creature that's like it'll have exceptionally good health. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it a rare. Tornado Summoner is our second rare, which means you only have one left. Don't waste it, you know. But Tornado Summoner is also going to have the effect that any damage a creature takes on the other side of the field, it also takes. So let's go ahead and give it, let's say, pardon me, I was just reading chat. Let's say that it has about 5 attack, which is higher than usual, and that it has 9 defense, which is exceptionally good. But the effect is creature. That's not how you pronounce creature. Takes damage. Two. Sandman, Dream Guardian, 5 attack, 3 defense. Once per turn, you can discard a card and return 1 card back to the hand to its original owner. Wow. I like that. My only concern is that, like, if you just had Sandman on the field and the opponent has a creature and doesn't want to get attacked, oh, bye, Clueless. That sounds rude. Their name is Clueless, I swear. I'm not being rude. Chad, don't bully me. So the way that I imagine the Sandman would work would be a little frustrating to play against. If they just discarded a card and they just returned your only defender that you had, I feel like that might stink to play against. So I could imagine it working with cards that are placed on the side of the field. As a removal card, you'll know that Spectre or Armageddon TCG loves removal cards. Ask him about those. We still have 3 more card slots to fill out, so if anyone can think of a card that they could add, I'm all ears. Well, I'm all eyes when I look at your comment, not sniff your comment. You don't sniff with your ears, dude. Wowzers. Am I suffering from brain rot? Maybe you can only activate the effect if your opponent has at least 2 cards in the field. I think we could simplify that even, just to make it the concept of if your opponent has more cards than you on the field. What was the one that you posted, Kat? Because I want to make sure that I got it right. And the chat's going by pretty quickly, and I don't see it currently on the board anymore. Not to say I wasn't paying it. If you're talking about Timmy the Merchant, I have no problem with that. I just feel like we can make it a cat person for sure. And then we can give you your cat person. Don't you worry about that. We'll give you a cat person. I will go full on cat person for you. You could text it to me on Discord, but I prefer if it was posted here on the YouTube because I don't want to have to alt tab and ruin potentially seeing somebody else's comment. Not to say that I don't value you, Cat, but everyone else also is having their chance to post for these last 3 cards before we start coloring them. The kid has got the same hair as Snake Charmer. I'm not sure that I'm vibing with that. So if you could just post it here in the YouTube comments. I could make this a lady. It's got long hair. Let's make it a lady. Not to say that all ladies have long hair, of course, but I need to add some more ladies to Rougen TCG. Everyone here is equal. That's right. I think so. One thing I'm glad I'm not seeing is spam, because I kind of figured that would be one big thing I had to worry about, is some troll coming in and just making everyone else's situation worse when they can't post anything because they're just messaging the same thing over and over again. I'm really glad I'm not seeing that. Pick a player, send the top card of that player's deck to the graveyard. Mummification. That seems like a regular effect card with the desire to burn, like to ruin people's, not ruin people's draws, but to make people run out of cards before the opponent. I can get behind that. We do need some more regular effects in Desperado West. We don't have nearly enough. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Full effect. Each player flips a coin. If heads, they gain 3 HP. If tails, they lose 3 HP. Oh. You know, with this chaos, chaos, chaos card, one thing that you could totally do, and this is going to sound ridiculous, you could have them flip like 6 or 7 cards. Or even just, I think we could just keep it at like 4. If you could flip 4 cards with the potential to gain life or to lose it, give me the Wandering Merchant. The effect is when this card is played, the next card that you play costs 1 less. We could make that even better if you wanted to, Cat, by the way, because 2-3 isn't super, like, that's pretty bad stats to be playing on the field. Yeah, the first thing that I thought of was Sorcerer Knight, which is also a 2-3, that allows you to play pretty much as many effect cards as you draw on your next draw, which I think is honestly much better than the one you're offering right now. So if you want to go ahead and step up that power a little bit, feel totally free. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just name Wandering Merchant, and then if we can get a different effect from Cat, we'll go ahead and add that. I was reading something just a second ago. Yeah, it was Mummification and Chaos, Chaos, Chaos. I really enjoy 4-5. Well, see, 4-5 is overly good stats. That's the thing. I play with very small numbers in my game, so I can totally understand just adding +2/+2 can make a card exceptionally good. So I understand the confusion. Generally, stats in Rugen are about 4-4. With an effect that you're talking about right now, it would be genuinely, I think, a little bit too good. Maybe I would say we could go with 2-5, 3-4. 3-3 works totally fine. Now, see, we're stepping our game up a little bit because attack, I think, is slightly better than defense. I'm going to go ahead and, unless anybody else can think of a different idea, I'm going to go ahead and put Chaos, Chaos, Chaos. And Mummification. Sandstorm. Whenever a card would enter the field, it takes 1 damage. We actually have a few cards that are like that, as a matter of fact. Uh, the first one that comes to mind for me is a card called Deadeye, which is a creature card that just deals 2 defensive damage whenever a creature enters the field. And then we have another card from the Evergreen set, which its name forgets me, but I want to make sure I get it right. It deals 1 damage at the end of every player's turn to all creatures in the field until it's destroyed. I believe it's something to do with Burning Sun. Its name fails me right now. Oh, beans. I dropped a stapler. Not a stapler. What's it called? A ruler. Why am I so stupid today? What else? But I could absolutely imagine a Sandstorm card existing. Because that would actually be another hard counter to a card archetype that exists that I'm a little bit worried about to post. It's called the Varmints. Now, Varmint is a card that has 2 attack, 1 health, free play, and you can have up to 20 copies of it in your deck. In testing, I found that if you don't have some kind of easy, like, big amount of creature removal, they can absolutely overwhelm just about any powerful archetype. So that's not to say these aren't important, but there are a couple of cards that genuinely deal a similar effect already, with the intention of dealing a similar effect, being counter cards to Varmint. I left and came back. What do we got so far? Well, we're finishing off our last 4 designs, basically, to make sure that they're just about what we want before we start coming into the effects of the cards that don't have effects just yet, and then we're going to start coloring them when you guys are going to help me do that too. Don't think you're out of this just yet. Now, I'm just looking to see if we have any other ideas that might replace our last 3 here. I think that we have this one right here that's going to stay pretty well, and we have 2 that are uncontested a little bit, and we have 1 that I'm more than willing to replace. Blazing Radiance. Equip this to a card. That card gains 2 attack, 0 health, and whenever it's attacked, deal 2 damage to the attacker. So it's pretty much a +2, which isn't super good, but also, if it attacks something, it becomes +4. I think that we could improve that even, because generally, so almost all the stats that I go off of are based off of cards that already exist now, because I have so many cards in my back catalog of Rougen TCG, which of course, I would never expect anyone to have all these cards memorized. I mean, you would go mad, you'd go bonkers if you tried to think of stuff like this. So, oh, hello. I saw a person in the chat wanting to post hello, and I wanted to say hello. But essentially, there's a card called Legendary Blade, which is +2/+2, and then it has 1 extra health. So generally speaking, that's where I'm at right now with equip cards. Is just +2/+3, or about +4 attack and +4, +5 defense is fair to me. But I mean, not like that. Like +4 attack or +5 defense or +2/+3. That's generally about fair for an equip card. And so +2 with the effect that it does +2 would be just about equal. And I think we could honestly improve Blazing Radiance to be 2 attack equip, and then once it's attacked, it gets +3, so it deals 5 damage rather than 4, but only while it's being attacked. I think we could honestly improve it to that far if we needed to, just to make sure that it's a card that would be at least equal or statistically as interesting as other cards that already exist. And of course, there's no reason for me to ramble at all. Wow, we got 8 concurrent viewers. One thing I've noticed, though, is we don't have 8 concurrent likes. If we could just fix that, that'd be fantastic. We already have merchant cards, so I feel as though the previous idea that we had for a merchant is almost falling apart. El Dorado. All creatures and players take 2 damage. Afterwards, deal 2 damage to your opponent for each card remaining on the field. Wow. The City of Gold, El Dorado. That could, honestly, be a legendary. Does anybody have any opposition to the final legendary in Desperado West being the City of Gold, El Dorado? That's a game-winning card. That's a finisher move, honestly. Seems like most people are in agreement. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. I am going to go ahead and replace this art. Not to say that it wasn't a good concept at the time, but I think we presented much better alternatives as we moved on. This was originally just going to be a merchant shop, which wasn't going to be too bad of an idea, but I think that we've honestly got a better concept here. with El Dorado. It's exceptionally well themed too, because I wouldn't have thought of that. That's why I need you guys. That's not Timmy. Don't worry, Cat. Timmy's down here. Timmy's down here. What are you worried about? I see you're worried in the chat. Timmy's down here. Don't you worry. I've got you taken care of. The reason why Cat Universe Productions is messaging in the chat so much is because Timmy's the name of their cat, and they wanted to have them immortalized in Rougen TCG, which is totally understandable, totally respectable, and I can understand why they'd be upset if I removed it. But I didn't remove it. You gotta put a little bit of faith in me, Cat. Cat's from the Discord. By the way, have you gone to the Discord? You should check out the Discord. The Discord's pretty cool. We have 9 concurrent viewers, which is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and sketch out a basic concept for El Dorado. I don't want to make it too set in stone right now, or set in gold, I guess I should say. I didn't know that. Let's try and keep the chat a bit more positive. I understand that's a terrible, terrible thing to go through. It sounds so weird. Everyone like the stream. See, that's what I need people like Mega Gunshot here more often. I just need a hype man to constantly remind people, hey, like the stream at all times of the day. I did. As it stands right now, we have 9 concurrent viewers and 10 likes somehow. I think that means that Clueless must have liked before they left. I'm not 100% certain how something like that even works. You guys are so good that you're breaking the YouTube system. Already done. See, this is fantastic. This is a good experience, gang. Now, this is the easy part for me. It's just making cards or the concept for cards. The hard part for me is coloring because coloring's a nightmare. That's why I need you guys really here for. So, don't touch that dial. All right. I'm imagining that the City of Gold, the El Dorado, would be a larger, more vast card. I was going to be very concerned. So it seems like it's just a regular old effect card, but it may have to be a full effect because the effect is so good. Effect, 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 effect. Let's go ahead and just leave it as that for now. I don't imagine you guys can even really see what I'm writing right now. I suppose it's probably not very visible at all, but it will be a lot more visible once I begin the line art. Or, well, I begin coloring first. Now, for this card, Wandering Merchant, we know it's going to be a cat. That's right, Pogs. We have 11 likes already. Can I ask what type of cat or what breed of cat Timmy was, Theo? See you, Seekers. Pug for cat person. I love my audience, but I don't understand them. Tabby. Orange Tabby. 5 viewers, 12 likes. Interesting. I think that's just people liking and then they have to go. I wouldn't attribute it to YouTube being bad at counting. Although, have you seen those posts that do votes to see if they can find where the certain emoji is in a wave of emojis? Most of the time, if you check the math on those, it'll say 101% or 99% for some reason. Super allergic to cats. Well, you aren't super allergic to paper, from what I understand. So you should be totally fine to say hi to Timmy. We have 16 current viewers now. We used to have almost, I think, 9 or maybe even 10 for a time at least. Let's give them a comically oversized backpack. I don't know why I put them a little bit to the left. Or to the right, even. Left and right are hard, gang. Now let's see. The straps are going to go here, and then I wanted to have his little hands holding the strap, or his little paws even, because he's a cat. Well, actually, I don't know. How human? Where does your hand go? Oh, they don't go in here like that. I should just have him holding like an item or something to like fill out the space in the board. Now, gang, I need a couple of you to come up with ideas for what Palm Reader Mahala's ability might be and its stats, the attack and defense, and then what effect it might have. You've gotten a lot better at that over the course of this stream, so now I'm kind of putting you to the test a little bit. The card is called Palm Reader Mahala, not Palmity Walmity Jahamla Mamala, as I said before. One of them's have a sloth accessory, like the Crudes. You don't think you might be a little bit biased? Last Love the Sloth, you don't think you might be a little bit biased? Not even a little bit? Hmm. What might this gentleman be holding? Well, you need a lamp or a lantern. No, you're not biased. What do you know? Let's have him holding a lantern. But he's not holding it right so much. Palm Reader Mahala. When this card is sent from the field, sent to the field, look at your opponent's hand. Add the sloth. I like to imagine Mega Gunshots just holding a pistol to my head. You better add the sloth. Okay, guys, I'll add the sloth. Mystical Orb of Cool Vibes. They're my chat's teaming up against me. They're forming an alliance. Laszlo the Sloth and Mega Gunshot are working together to defeat me. They want me to add the sloth. I can't add this. There's nowhere to add. Where do you want me to add a sloth? Where can I add a sloth, gang? Would the snake charmer just accidentally be charming a sloth? Would the cursed 6-shooter be held by a sloth's hand? Would a sloth be stuck in a tornado? Would the sloth be the one that's getting mummified? The sloth should have his own card. Well, we have to get rid of one of the cards that already exists in the 9 card slots. I wouldn't want to take that away from somebody else. Unless somebody was okay with getting rid of Chaos, 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 or Mummification. Or we can get rid of Eldorado, or Palm Reader Mahala, or Snake Charmer. These 3 are kind of set in stone because they actually have their effects and this. All of them. Yeah, don't worry. No one's taking away Timmy. I'm going to go ahead and make Wandering Merchant just a baseline stats, one attack, 7 defense. And then I'm going to make its effect just parentheses Timmy. Is it IE or is it Y? I want to make sure I get it right. Theo, was it spelled TMMIE or TIMMY? Hmm. Not getting so much of a chat. Oh, it's IE. Gotcha. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. So are we okay with our last 2 cards being Chaos, and Mummification? Is anyone opposed to that? There must be some kind of stream lag that I'm not realizing. No one's opposed to that? I want to make sure I get everyone to at least comment something. No opposition here. All right. Just for Laszlo and Mega to make sure that they don't, destroy me by teaming up, I'm going to go ahead and make the thing that's being mummified a sloth. I got to make sure that I understand what a sloth looks like, so I'm going to go ahead and Google it really fast. They're exceptionally cute. That's one thing I'd say about them for certain. Wow, that thing's cute. Okay. They have super long arms. Golly. They could reach from across the table, grab some potato chips if they wanted to. They have the eyes like raccoons have, where it's like got like the dark parts. I'm glad that I make fantastic background noise for you. That's all I've ever wanted to be when I grew up. Someday, I told my parents this. Someday, I hope to just be background noise for someone. Okay, now Laszlo, Mega, is that sloth? Oh wait, I gotta show the camera to make sure that you can see it. Is that sloth enough for your standards, or does it need to be more sloth-like? Is that sloth-like enough for y'all? Yes, I'm seeing one yes. It's from Laszlo, who is the sloth, so I think they'd know if anyone else would. It is good. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. See, gang, you come to the Rougen TCG live stream, you end up with a pretty good situation on your hands. Mega's got to go for a bit. That's fine. We can have plenty of fun while Mega's away. We shouldn't because Mega's not here, and then they'd miss it. But, like, we still could. Did I miss anything? Well, we've pretty much solidified what cards are going to be where on the board. So now it comes down to trying to find, again, the definition. I don't think you missed that, of trying to find what Mahala's effect is going to be. I want to eat sushi. Oh, that's a good idea. I should get sushi. I have a great place nearby that makes fantastic sushi. I like to get this thing called like a lobster king roll. It's super nifty. Should there be a background for a mummification? I guess it should be like wrap coming to bind the sloth, although sloths normally can't be contained. Let's just make this entire chat about the love for sushi. You know, screw the cards. What's your favorite kind of sushi? No. Come on, gang. Get your head in the game. California rules, they're undeniable. I do not want to go to Twitter right now. Got an ad, or not an ad, but like a post that was like something about Twitter news. I do not get the appeal of Twitter so much. I'm just gonna make chaos, chaos, chaos a rodeo. I don't know if we have any new or recurring. It seems like it's mostly recurring viewers, but just in case we have a few people who are scared to say anything in the chat. Uh, hey, this is Richie here from Rougen TCG, and today we're working on making 9 cards based off of viewer suggestions. If you have any ideas, if you're feeling comfortable enough, feel free to post them in the chat for names. Well, not for names, but for effects and stats for Palm Reader Mahala, Snake Charmer, Cursed Six Shooter, and I think that we're pretty okay on other names, on other ideas. So just Palm Reader, Snake Charmer, Cursed Six Shooter, and that should be it. Once we got that going, we can really get crazy. Hey, DJ. Okay, so these are all effects, which means that they don't need to have these lines here. We'll get rid of those in a second. Then we have these two here, which are the ones that we're looking for effects for. I saw a couple that I was interested in to see if anybody else would be interested in them. I'm going to go scroll up in the chat really fast. One I saw was Palm Reader's effect 2/4. When this card is sent from the field, look at your opponent's hand. So when it's cosplayed, essentially. What does a Palm Reader do? Aren't they just like, I don't want to sound rude, but like, aren't they just guessing? Is that like an actual science of the art of reading palms, or is that like woo? I don't actually know. Hmm. So they aren't lying, I don't think. I think they just maybe they know something I don't. Palm reads tell you the future, I think. Okay. Well, if it tells you the future, surely it should show you the next cards on your deck rather than the cards on your opponent's. Hmm. I'd hate to Google it because that seems like it'd be a big waste of time. We could just guess for the fun of it. That could be fun. It only has to tangentially be related to what the actual card is called because this is cartoony logic. Everything works. Guys, what does a palm reader do? Come on, we got 9 people watching. Surely at least one person here is supposed to know what a palm reader does. This is great. Oh, well, first of all, DJ, what's going on is we've pretty much determined what 9 cards are going to be based on the comments that were posted in the chat, the live chat. And now what we're doing right now is trying to find an effect for Palm Reader Mahala and also stats for them. 2-4 seems like a pretty common one. I think I also saw 2-5 at one point. They read your palm and tell you the future based off of that. See, I think at least one of us knows that's right. They can tell you what will happen based on the lines in your hand. That's not real, right? Like if I took a picture of my hand and sent it to them, would they be able to like determine my future based off of that? Or do they have to like feel it, like feel the passion? It's a scam, I think. Yeah, I think so too. They prey on superstitious people. I see. That's terrible. So, based on what we know about palm readers, which from my chat doesn't look to be super much, can we come up with an effect for palm reader Mahala? If they aren't telling the truth, should we make the effect like bad? Like look at the top three cards of your deck, grave two, and then put the last one on top of your deck so you know what you're going to draw next, maybe? Printing Rougen TCG on the side uses up more ink than is needed. Hmm. That's an interesting point. As a counterpoint, though, it looks really cool. And so, I guess what I'm saying is like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. The effect is a scam. Your opponent closes their eyes, and you send either the top three cards of your hand to the top three cards of your hand, and then they pay you one token when played. All cats wording what they're doing. Oh, take one random card in your opponent's hand. If it has more health than attack, draw a card. If it has more attack than health, send it to the graveyard. Wow. But what if they draw a card that doesn't have any health or defense? Pick a random card in your opponent. If it has more health than attack, draw a card. If it has more attack than health, send it to the graveyard. Right, but what if they pick a card that is just a regular uh, effect card and doesn't have attack or defense? You could work around that for sure, don't get me wrong. Then the effect doesn't do anything. Look at one card in their hand and two in their deck and rearrange their order. It's an effect card and send it to the graveyard. I'm seeing a couple of options actually. One just says to destroy it if it's an effect card, and one just says to pick a random card in your hand, search your deck for the same type of card, and then add it to your hand. That could be good for archetype synergy, although there aren't very many archetypes in Desperado West. Not to say it couldn't happen. Oh, in your opponent's hand. Pick a random card in your opponent's hand and then deck that same type of search your deck for the same type of card. I see. So if it's a creature or if it's a full effect or if it's a regular effect, it allows you to bring out a card of that type. I totally understand now. That's an interesting idea, and that's one we haven't seen yet. That's actually interesting. Okay, I can get behind that. Cat person archetype. Pick a player, rearrange the top 5 cards of that player's deck. One of my favorite things about looking at people's effects is you can tell exactly what kind of game they're most familiar with based on how they pick their wording. If you see the word graveyard, that means they're probably a Yu-Gi-Oh player. If they specify to pick a player, pick a person, or to target one player, they're probably a Magic player. I like. Yeah, see, now we're getting somewhere. Let's. Are we okay with making the idea that we had before? The select one type of card that in your opponent's hand, and then draw that type of card from your deck. What am I? Why, you're a player of Planet Wars TCG, of course, Cat. Most of yours are written as paragraphs that describe what the effect is, so I'm just assuming that you genuinely don't have a card game that you subscribe to so much. Yeah. Look at that. 6 watching with 12 likes. That's fantastic. Anyone who hasn't liked the video just yet, I can't help but recommend it. Also, one thing I can recommend is the Discord. Check out the Discord. Go to the Discord. You know the Discord? Check that out. The Discord? Discord? Hello, Discord? The easiest way to find the link is just to go to previous video, check the description. It'll have 100 things telling you to go down to the Discord. Click that button. You're instantly there. It's easy as a pie's cinch. Doesn't seem like anybody disagrees with the concept. I'm seeing at least 2 people who like it too. And out of 6, that's 1 out of 3, which isn't so bad. Let's go ahead and go with 2 attack. Woo! I like the ability has to incorporate luck. I think that does that. Looking at your opponent's hand and then seeing the ability, seeing whatever option that you have, and then picking that card out of your deck, which means that genuinely you'd want to use Palm Reader Mahala while you have one of every type of card, just in case your opponent happens to have one of that type of card. That seems like a pretty decent amount of relevant random chance. Let's go ahead and work that into Mahala's effect. It also means your opponent has to have a card in their hand, which may or may not even be possible because if you use your cards, you don't draw back to 3 until you've eventually gotten back there, which means you're most likely to have 1 to choose from or 0 to choose from potentially. If they play a card like Dust Bowl where they have no cards in their hand, they're playing a Varmint deck. Overdraw 1 of that type of card. Bit of a wordy effect for Rougen, but it works just fine. Now we're moving on to the Snake Charmer. Now, Snake Charmer here, he doesn't have any stats. We have no idea what Snake Charmer's doing. and we don't know what the effect might be. We just know that they're a snake charmer. So if you have any ideas, I'm all eyes. All right, that time. Nailed it. So recording. While you guys are typing out your ideas, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a story. You see, a long time ago, back when I was in fifth grade, I was a bit of a prankster. I was kind of a class clown, and we were working with glue on a project, and then I stole someone's Elmer glue, the small sticks that you have, and I put it in my pocket. And then he comes to the teacher and is like, Mrs. Werther's, I can't find my glue stick. And she's like, did you lose it? And then I managed to, while he was going up there, sneak it back into his jacket pocket, which he was checking his regular pocket. He wasn't checking his jacket pocket. It's sitting on his table. And so I take the glue stick, put it in his pocket, and I shout from the back, hey, did you check your pocket? And then for some unearthly reason, he goes to his pocket. He opens it up and picks it out, and there's two sticks sitting in there. He had two glue sticks this entire time, one of which is in his jacket pocket. Anyways, that's why I believe in ghosts. Let's check out some of these effects. 4-2 for the charmer. Do you have a poisoning effect? I do not, but I'm totally open to the concept. Snake Charmer, 2-3. Both players pick a draw card, and then they trade one random card in the opponent's hand. I feel like we can definitely use that effect, but that doesn't seem super good for a Snake Charmer. I think we could find a different card to use that for. 14 likes. We're only 2 likes away from reaching our like goal. Not to pressure anyone. It'd be really cool if we could leave this live stream having met the like goal. You should do something like that, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? 2-3. Both players pick, draw a card, then trade one random card. What would a snake do? What do snakes do besides be really scary and stink? Is it 15 likes? I only see 14 on my side. It's possible that somebody unliked DJ. Maybe they didn't think the stream was of proper quality, which I can understand. I disagree, but I understand. It should be I would think a board control card, DJ. I totally agree with you. They said that it should be a control card. Couldn't agree more. Now, how might we do that? Snake charmers do control snakes. That's a good point. Is there something to the idea of snake tokens? The idea that snakes are a character, something that they summon. If your opponent's creature has lower defense than your attack, you may look at your opponent's hand, charming what could be a snake. Do we have any other ideas? I want to make sure that we have all of our options available to us before we put anything down onto the paper. If not, totally fine. I can come up with it, but I got to get your guys' express permission first, you know? I'd hate to take away your cards from you, right? This is your guys' idea, not mine. Someone came up with the idea for Snake Charmer. They had some idea at some point. Hmm. While you guys are thinking and typing out your answers, maybe I can tell you another story. Let's see if I can think of one. I'm not that interesting of a dude. Hmm. Let's see. I'm super scared of snakes. And so a lot of times when I'm going into pet stores, I don't go into the reptile section because I know that I'm not supposed to like see snakes because if I do, I'll get super panicked and have to leave the area. But one time, me and my boys, I have boys by the way, we hang out, we're cool. We were going out and we were checking out a pet shop because I wanted to pet the cute gerbils and rabbits and whatnot. And then they took me to the back, which I thought was an aquarium for fish. They told me it was an aquarium for fish. And I went in there, and there was a 20-foot anaconda, and its name was like Andy or something. And I got so scared that I ran out. And then for the next while, they made fan art of me and a giant snake, and it was like a love story between me and a giant snake named Andy, which I'm still scared of to this day. It was alive, by the way. There are literally things that are 20 feet long and alive. Can you imagine that? Anyways, check out some of these comments. Snake Charmer, discard a card and then take control of an opponent's card. Discard the highest attack in your hand, and then next turn your opponent doesn't draw a card. It seems like a lot of these are focused on the concept of discarding and drawing and cards, like which obviously it's a card game, Einstein. But I want to make sure that we have all of our options available to us. Cat has decided to say his own name in case people forgot. Glad to hear it. Just remember there's many more options than just having to do with cards. Remember, it's up to you guys to decide what you really enjoy. So if you see something that you want that you don't think that I'm looking at enough, feel free to post it to me. I want to make sure that every single option is available. The effect is Theo. Is that right? Oh, I know your name, Ronan. I feel like it should have to do with the taking control of a card because snake charmers take control of snakes in a sense. That's totally reasonable. And in fact, I would say that what cards, like what could we do to ensure that the cards are more similar to snakes? Would it be just taking control of creatures because snakes are creatures? Would it be taking cards that aren't very strong because snakes aren't very strong? Well, I mean they are. Have you seen how they crush like mice and stuff, dude? What's a way that we can make the snake charmer charm snakes? You know? We could make it so that snakes actually exist. Again, with the, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, summoning a token, which is just a card that acts as a creature, but has a certain number of stats that it always is. Yeah, discard a card, then take control of an opponent's creature. Its stats become 3/3. Now we're getting somewhere, you know? What about attach a creature to Snake Charmer and then getting an attack? Oh, my computer died from inactivity. What about you attach a creature to Snake Charmer, charming it, and then getting an attack boost? I'm totally down. I'm glad that we're seeing some other options. You know, we got to keep pro, our portfolio diversified, as it were. I want to see plenty of constant, interesting, and strange, kooky, maybe even unusable ideas because I want to get things really out there, hokey, strange, completely and utterly bamboozled. That's the fun part of making a card game. You can go as kooky as you want. It's your game, right? Well, it's your game. It's the one that I'm offering to you. Let's see. Does What would the attack boost be? That's a good question, DJ. I'm glad that it's now come down to other people asking the questions that I have in my head. Not to say that I'm predictable. I hope you don't think I'm predictable. What am I thinking of right now? I'm thinking of Sour Patch Kids because I had some recently and they were very good. I don't think anyone got that. No way. I don't know. It depends on the card, maybe. While those two were debating in the section over there, it seems like three people are even having their own concepts for making tokens and cards, taking cards, making tokens, and stealing cards from your opponent. I'm gonna go ahead and tell another story. Uh, so me and my big bro play Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, and he has cheated so many consistent times that rather than just talking and like having a conversation with him while we're playing, I have to ensure that he's playing by the rules every single time we play. So rather than saying I pass the turn, I have to specify I pass the turn to you. Please draw, because if I don't, he'll forget and then draw like 2 or 3 turns later, which I can't even confirm the fact that he drew. And then he also likes to change the rules of cards. Like back when we were 6, he used to tell me that the effect of the card multiplied the card to infinity attack and infinity defense, and he always won the duel. And that's why I don't trust my big bro. He's a big troll. That's what he is. To be honest, I like that card surge. I think we can work on that. You can equip this to a card. The equipped card can either be attacked twice or gain 2/3. When a Snake Charmer is played, summon 3 tokens to your opponent's board. If they attack the Snake Charmer, you gain control of that Snake token. Oh, sweet. Bruh. Every 3 turns, this card gets a token until it reaches 3 tokens. They gain +1, +2. So would the first token be 1/2, or are all the tokens 1/2? I can get behind both ideas. I feel like I'm underdressed for the occasion. Currently, I'm wearing just a black T-shirt and some jeans. I feel like I should be wearing like a suit and tie. This is a pretty eventful situation for us. My sound is off. I just got my COVID shot. You should draw a mad scientist, to be honest. Got the COVID shot yesterday. I didn't get the COVID shot yesterday. I was just reading what Ronan said. I love how you're saying you're underdressed while barely wearing. Well, I'm not wearing anything. Well, I don't know what you guys are wearing. I like to imagine that all of you are wearing like big suits and ties, and that you're working together in like a big infrastructure, talking to each other in a big meeting room. Whereas I'm just sitting here like a numbskull with in my wooden chair that creaks whenever I move it. We've got 7 concurrent viewers right now. We got plenty of brains to think of what Snake Charmer's ability is. Now, Snake Charmer is a card that we don't know what its stats are. We know that it's common. It's got uh, attack, health, and we don't know what the effect is. If anyone has any suggestions, and we have a bunch of other viewers, we could probably use this think tank to come up with some new ideas. We've now broken down the chat and are now officially talking about what you're wearing right now, which makes me think of the Jake from State Farm commercial. I'm wearing pajama pants and no shirt. I'm wearing shorts and pajama tops. Oh, you two are made for each other. I'm wearing a suit and tie for this special occasion. I'm wearing jeans and underwear and lying in my bed. I'm a professional. Okay, it seems like the vast majority of my audience don't wear shirts. Okay. Cha, hi, cha, hi, cha, hi, cha. Oh, check this out. Oh, let's go. My target audience is shirtless men. You've got me dead to rights, Ronan. You should make a DJ card. Not very cowboy themed. I like the idea though. Hey, everyone's during these times is dressed in their Sunday best. Again, the concept for the what we're helping right now is making the snake charmer. So I don't. I mean, like this, like the snake. You know, like we're, we're making it like we're making snake a snake charmer. You know, stats for charmer. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. A, 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 a snake charmer. I think I have a nice effect, which I've already sent. The chat's been moving by so fast. If you can just send it one more time, that'd be fantastic. Not to say that I didn't read it. I'm pretty sure I read it out loud. Yeah, you definitely broke me because we're not talking about this. We're not talking about the snake charmer. You can equip this to a card. That card can either attack twice or gain 2 attack, 3 defense. That's a really decent effect, and it has a lot of options. So now, does anyone else have any other options, just to make sure we've got our entire meeting room adjourned and working together? That's not what adjourned means. That's okay. Sometimes I just make up the meanings of words. I'm a total schmeggenbop. I was kind of figuring that like by now would be on the coloring phase, but it seems like a lot of my chat likes to have their fun. So I'm totally fine with it. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun time, having a great time. But I just want to make 100% certain that we're using our time efficiently. I kind of want to be done with the stream by about 7. I am a schmeg. Yeah, it's true. I'm a schmeggenbop. There's been a moth in my room for 6 minutes. Okay. Can we talk about can, can we talk about this can we talk about the snake charmer? Can we talk about the snake charmer? Rhizomes effect. Let's make sure we get Ronan. Would you please send me your effect one more time? Draw a card from your deck. If it's Desperado card, keep it. If it's not a Desperado card, discard it. What are everyone's opinion on the effect I've made? Okay, I understand that one concept we have right now is that it's a equip card. We have one. That's one concept that gives two attack, 3 defense, or it can allow a card to attack twice. That's interesting. That's something we could totally do. It's not letting you copy chat. I'll go ahead and scroll up really fast to see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. When a Snake Charmer is played, summon 3 tokens to your opponent's board. If they attack Snake Charmer, you gain control of that Snake token. I don't see why the foe would ever attack into Snake Charmer with the snakes. I think it would mean you'd have to have control of the snakes because they're yours, obviously. And then you can choose to attack with, say, 1 attack onto things that you want to get damaged, maybe? That can make total sense. Whenever this card's on the field, it gains a token. When it reaches 5 tokens, gain +1/+2. Okay, so honestly, we can make that even better than you have it right now. For example, if you wanted to take the token concept and place it on the card, then every single time that a creature is put into play, maybe, then it can gain a token, and then for every token that it has, you may select you could select +1/+2, and then just keep going until eventually you have an oversized creature that they can't get rid of. Less board space. That's a good point. Although I don't subscribe to a place where board space ends just yet. I think at some point that may exist, but as it stands right now, I'm still okay with the concept of just having an infinite 2 minutes. 2 minutes until what? Until 6? That's really ominous. Someone just posted in chat 2 minutes, Richie. Holy cow. What, 2 minutes the pipe bomb that you sent to my house goes off? What are you going to do to me, Ronan? When this card attacks, place 1 counter on it. Every 3 counters, summon 1 snake token on your field. 2/1. We could make that even better, honestly, because 2/1 attack is closer to a varmint. I think that a snake could be even more powerful than that. When this card attacks, it gets a counter. Every 2 counters, place a 3/3 snake token on your side of the field. And then it has lower stats than I think you're imagining. I could imagine something like that for sure. Okay, I'm going to cut us off here. We've got 3 big options, and I'm going to go ahead and name them after the people who thought of them. So we've got the cat concept, which is that the card summons snake tokens. We've got the surge concept, which is that it's an equip card and it also allows you to attack twice, or it even so it allows you to attack twice, or it gives +2/+3. And then we have the Ronin concept, which is let's make sure I got this 100% right because it's not on the field. It's not on where I'm looking right now. Uh, your opponent's let's see. Here it is. Summon 3 tokens to your opponent's side of the board, and then they can select, and then you can select where their attack targets go. So I'm going to go ahead and say Ronin, Surge, or Cat. Whatever you post in the chat, whatever gets the most posts. Obviously, I know the person who is the name of them is probably going to vote for their own. So just post in chat whether you think it should be Ronin, which is Ronan, Cat, CAT, or if it should be, or even Laszlo now, because now Laszlo's putting one and throwing one in the ring. So Ronin, Laszlo, Cat, or uh, Surge. It's all up to you guys. Yeah, I know that you guys who are the people who they're named after are going to name yourselves. Although we don't have very many concurrent viewers, so it could be that those are the only people left. Gotta make 100% certain. I was kind of thinking that was going to be more efficient than it was until now I realized that the 5 people who are concurrently watching are me, Laszlo, Ronan, Surge, and Cat. This is great. Okay, can you guys delineate amongst yourselves in the chat an argument and argue for your side really fast? And while we're waiting for you guys to concurrently decide, maybe you can use Discord, that's fine, or you can post it in the YouTube chat if you need to. And I'm gonna tell another story because stories are fun to tell. So, uh, I fell in love with these markers a long time ago, but the very first time that I got them was because of my birthday. Birthdays for me have always been a little bit weird because whenever it's my birthday, which is super duper close to Valentine's Day, everything that I get is heart shaped because the only thing that's in stores at the basic sales that they go to whenever they're buying gifts for me when I was a kid, they only sold like Valentine's Day stuff at like CVS Pharmacy and whatnot. And so a lot of times I would spend uh, my childlike years keeping all the cards from my mom and my dad that were all well, yeah. Uh, I would keep all the cards from my mom, anyways, and they would essentially say like they would all be like heart shaped and said like lots of love, or be like I'm loving you and things like that, and they were only tangentially related to me because they had to be because of Valentine's Day. So, anyways, that's why Valentine's Day is my least favorite holiday. I also have these Micron pens, which I didn't mention previously, but I can't recommend enough. I got these ones from Walmart because apparently the Walmart that I live next to actually sells these Micron pens, and they're fine liner, which means I could theoretically go back to making my cards fine liner, which they used to be. Looks like someone's birthday is Valentine's Day. Now I'm gonna just lurk in the chat a little bit to see if I can get these bozos to expedite the process. Oh, someone else has joined the chat. What's happening, Coral? Currently, I'm watching. Oh, thank you. I think my TTG is pretty cool too. I think that a lot of other people's could be even better. 3 minutes? Until what? Until what, Ronan? Yo! What's happening? I'm talking to you because all the other people who are currently uh, sitting in my chat are debating what their effect should be for Snake Charmer. Snake Charmer, we don't know the attack and the defense yet, and we don't know what the effect is. And these 3 guys have figured out some ideas. Death Countdown. I'm calling it. Make a simple card, please. That's what I'm saying. I've always been a proponent for simple effects. We still have one more card to go through to decide the effects. Well, my favorite among the three, besides my own, is maybe Cat's. Yes, a couple of my cards actually have token effects, Laszlo. So there's this card called Corrupt Dragon from the Evergreen set, and it actually summoned dragon tokens. And then there's a couple, and then the hostage tokens have become a concept for Desperado West, which are essentially 2 attack, 1 health free play creatures that you can have 20 copies of. No, that's the varmints. Hostage tokens are 0 attack, 1 defense, and creatures summon them, and creatures synergize with them. There's a couple of actual. It wouldn't be something new. Make a moon token. I mean, I could, but what might it actually be? You got to explain it. I'm here as I think I said this before, but I'll make sure that people who are watching now have seen this and know that I am a muse for all of you who give me ideas. I'm open to any concept that you provide. I just need to know what that concept is. The average attack and defense is 4 attack, 4 defense. There have been plenty of derivations from that, say 5 attack, 3 defense, which is the card Cozy Camp, or maybe even 3 attack, 5 defense, which doesn't exist yet, or 2 attack, 6 defense, which is Dunecrawler Worm, which we just came up with today. But generally, average attack and defense, 4 attack, 4 defense. Now, it seems like the debate has come to an end. Gentlemen, that being Serge, Laszlo, Ronan, and Cat, have you delineated yet? Do you know what it's going to be just yet, or are you guys still debating? If not, it's fine. I'll come up with something to make you guys decide. Cat doesn't know. Serge says Cat. If you'd like, Coral, you can go ahead and DM me in Discord, and I'd be more than happy to acknowledge you once we figure out exactly how we can do that. You can find my Discord link in my previous videos, up to my third previous video, and you just go down to the link, click it, boom, you're there. I can only, if you don't have a Discord yet, it's free. Between 1 and 5, whoever the closest wins their effect. Alright, it was nice to see you, Coral. Cat wants to be your friend, too. He wants to be everyone's friend. I'm loving watching this chat go down because it's just a big, silly debate. Can't see the Discord server. You know what I could do? I'm gonna get a dice, and then all of you pick a number on the dice, and then I'll roll that dice, and whatever comes up will be the effect. So Cat's calling 5, Serge is calling 3. Do you want to pick a number? Uh, so we still have Ronan pick a number yet. Coral doesn't even have an effect, but they picked a number. If Coral wins, they get to pick the effect, gang. Be careful. Ronan, do you have a number that you want to pick? And then Laszlo, do you have a number that you want to pick? Laszlo picked 5 too, so one of you got to change. Cat called it first. Laszlo's calling 3. Okay, so we got 4, 5, and 3 taken right now. I'm back from my long. Welcome back, Mega. When am I going to do a face reveal? Good question. Probably not super soon. I don't. Not that I don't trust you guys just yet. I just want to make 100% certain that when I do it, it's super duper special because I'm not quite popular enough where it's like a big deal just yet. I might reveal my face one of these days, but that day won't be today or the next. Ronan, did you pick a number just yet? We currently have three, four, five, 3, 4, and 5 taken, I believe. Yeah, we got Coral on 4. We got Surge taking 3. We got Laszlo on 5. No, we got Laszlo taking. Wait. Ugh, this is so icky. Okay. Place 3 snake tokens in your opponent's hand. For 3 turns, your opponent shuffles their hand, and you pick a card from it. If you draw a snake token, play it. If it's not a snake token, your opponent's grave. 8? Okay, well, we're normally going off of a D6, so if you could just, it would be normally through from 1 to 6, just to simplify the process. 3, 4, and 5 have been taken. I thought you already picked a number, Laszlo. Didn't you pick? Oh, you tried to pick 5. That's right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 taken care of. I'll grab my D6. I'll be right back. This is ridiculous, gang. All right, now which dice should I use? I've got the green ones, the purple ones, and the red ones. And I got the red ones with the black numbers. I would be happy to give you a shout out, Coral, but if you could just message me on Discord first, and I'll be able to get to it as soon as I can. I just want to make sure that we understand what the shout out's even like about. I'm seeing green. I'm seeing red, which we have 2 kinds of red, so that's kind of weird. You can find that in the comment section, in the description section of my videos, the Discord server. You'll find that in the description of my videos. All right, seems like green's winning. Well, Mega just posted the same thing twice. This is ridiculous, gang. Looks like green wins. All right, rolling a green die. All right, once I get all 5 of you to agree to shoot, let's go ahead and do it. Just say shoot. Or you can say roll or something fun. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Just need one more person to say shoot. Throw the dice at your sibling. I would, but they're upstairs. Battle! Good enough for me. We got 1. No one got 1, so we're going to roll again. 2. Who had 2? It was Ronan. Ronan, congratulations. Do you want your first effect or your second effect to be the effect we choose? Yes, it was a very fair battle. That's great, Coral. If you want to go ahead and DM me. Do you want it to be your first or second effect, Ronan? Seems like most people want to do the second effect. It looks like most people have voted and it's going to be for the second effect. Alrighty, second effect it is. Looks like Ronan's totally fine with that. Do we have any stat ideas for what we want for that? For what we want this card to be? Two, 3, and 4, 2, and 3, 4 were the options right now. At least I got a sloth. You got it, Laswell. We've got 16 likes to the stands. We've already reached our like goal, which is just fantastic. We still have 45 minutes, well, 44 minutes now to just absolutely destroy that like goal. If anyone else hasn't liked just yet. Okay. Place 3 snake tokens into your foe's deck for the next 3 turns. Whoop. Select one card in your foes. And it's a confusing effect. You gotta give me a little bit of a break here, Ronan. If it's a snake, play a 3/3 token. Fantastic. There's a dab emoji? I didn't even know that. Can I get some dabs in the chat, gang? That's nifty. It says I have to put my email in to type on the Discord server. That's strange. Do you have a problem with putting in your email? You could just make a fake email. I don't know, but Coral did it. Serge has got it. There's a kitty cat in a box now, which is pretty nice. No, I hate dabs. Fair enough. Totally reasonable. I think it's an emoji, which is a really weird emoji. Maybe it's not a dab. Maybe it's just Soldier Boy. I'm not sure. All right, gang. We have one more effect to do. It looks like we're only going to have one time to affect the dab. Wow, Freudian slip. Looks like we need to figure out one more card. Just one. You can handle that, right? We don't have an effect for Cursed 6-shooter. Can we get some help with that? Let's get a look at the picture. Cursed 6-shooter. If anyone has any ideas for effects, we'll do exactly what we did last time if we have to. Cursed 6-shooter. Looks like it's some kind of pistol of some sort. It looks like Serge is teaching everybody else how to dab. I can't put in a fake email. Hmm. Okay. I hope it wouldn't take too much time to ask you to make a email that you don't plan on using on Gmail or something of the like. And then once you've made that Gmail a functional Gmail that you don't plan on using, put that in and it should work just fine, right? I know that's asking to do a lot. Curse 6-shooter. Equip this to a card. Whatever that card would attack another card, the defending card loses one attack permanently. Ooh. Discard 6 cards. This card gains +3/+3. 6 cards! That's a lot. Okay, thank you, Coral. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, by the way? I want to make 100% certain. Roll a d6. If you get 1 to 2, you do +1. If you get 3 to 4, you get +2. If you roll a 5 to 6, you get +3. That is 6 things. This effect is highly influenced by my card game. Okay, now we're seeing a couple of emojis. Hey, Ronan learned to dab. Equip this card. Equip this card. Attacks Oppenheimer must discard. I think that means opponent. That's okay. Not the guy who became Death, Destroyer of Worlds. Hi, I'm making a game jam and I saw you were streaming, so I'm gonna stress out by making the game jam and watch you. That seems like a good waste of time. If anyone's the best waste of time on the HTCG community, it's gotta be me. Sorry there's no background music. I think that would really annoy people. Equip this card. Attacks opponent must discard a card at random. So if they attack the opponent directly, they have to discard a card? It still doesn't let me, even if I put in a fake email. A good waste of time. I'm the best waste of time around. I think I could say that without controversy. Who among us can compete with me? Amogus. Anyways, kill a card in your hand, then look at the top 6 cards of your opponent's deck and kill one. Hmm. It still doesn't let me make a fake email. Tell you what, Coral, since I don't want this to be even more of a hassle than it already is, let's go ahead and just ask if you would be so kind as to just post a comment on one of my videos, and I'd be more than happy to take a look at it once I have the chance after the stream. It should be something with discarding. Well, generally curses are bad for you, and that's probably one of the worst things you could have in a card game is losing cards. I can get behind that idea, Mega. Unless somebody else has an even better idea that you're cool with. Rhizome has lost his mind and is now posting emojis with reckless abandon. It says resend and re-put. Huh. I've never heard of that before. I feel like someone who's more familiar with Discord would be more helpful than I am. I'm just here for the lulz. Everyone is now dabbing in my chat. Yeah, life decking is bad. I watched a video series about the 7 deadly sins of gaming, and one of them was life decking, so I can totally get behind exactly what you're saying. I also have no idea how to pronounce your username. No offense, not to say that your username is bad. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Kazu? Kazu PNG? KZOO? Double O KZ? Crazy KZ? Equip this to a card. That card gains 3 attack, 0 defense. Whenever this would attack, place a counter on it. Only when it's Mildex is it acceptable. I guess, but it's still on thin ice. Equip this to 1 card. It gains 3 attacks, 0 defense. Whenever it would attack, place a counter on it. When this reaches 3 counters, send it to the graveyard. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, Kodak is super good. It's spelled kazoo. Okay. That's totally reasonable. Oh, other people know what I'm talking about. I'm fantastic. I don't sound like a crazy person anymore. I put a comment in the how I make cards video. Thank you very much, Coral. I'll be happy to take a look at it after the stream's over at about 7 o'clock, okay? And I pinky swear that I'll respond. It was ZZ. Hey, Cat. Now, as it stands right now, we have two pretty decent effect ideas right now. If anyone else has any other ideas, I'm just reading chat right now, which is a little silly of me. I gotta remember, I gotta talk sometimes, gotta say some words, gotta get myself pumped up. Want to see my electric sharpener? Check this thing out. It's super nifty. I haven't used it very much, obviously. Um, but like the cool thing about it is that it's an electric sharpener, and I have it in my house. What time is it for you? For me, it's 6:26. I'm in Central Standard Time right now. If you want to make a card of me in in your TCG, I'd be flattered. Honestly, you have a lot of pretty good pictures of me too. Roll a dice. Discard that amount or discard the amount on the dice. Place an X to. You may place X6 amount of +1/+1 on the board. X is the amount that you roll. I see. 7:30. Some of you people, it's 7:30 already. Golly goodness. And you still chose to watch my stream. You could be eating supper or something. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'd be flattered, Coral. Now, see, we've got Ronin's effect and we've got Surge's effect right now. Do we have any other effects? We also have Laszlo's effect, and we got Mega's effect. We've got plenty of people who are actually coming up with some pretty decent ideas. There are some people who probably have genuinely no idea what's going on right now, which I find hilarious. Mega says, I've never called dinner supper in my life. Yeah, I use archaic verbiage. I think most people who are familiar with my channel know that I say things that aren't necessarily properly correct. Can I go on a bike ride, chat? Didn't you scrape your knee recently, Ronan? Are you sure you want to do that? Equip this to a card. It gains 6-0. When that card attacks, put a counter on it. When it reaches 6 counters, send it to the graveyard. Now, that seems a little bit too good, Surge. Not to say that it's a bad idea, just that I think maybe we could like take it down a tad. I like the idea of when it's 6 turns, it's destroyed, but most cards in Rougen TCG generally don't last super long. They don't have very much attack and health. You also have Azure Markers. That's fantastic. I can't recommend them enough, and I'm sure you'd say the same thing. I really can't get enough of these gosh dang Azure Markers. They're so nifty. Let's not keep some silence. Let's instead talk about something cool. I found this toy fish while I was walking recently. I don't know what kind of fish it is, but I know that when I saw it, I like literally gasped out loud because it's so like out of place. And also it has the word China written on it. Can you see that, gang? Probably not, but it has the word China written on its side. So I have no idea where this came from. And honestly, I just think it's really weird, but I found it and I decided to put it here. How many streams have I done? This is my very first stream, and I think you can tell by the audio quality. I want to make 100% certain that I make this work. So I want to make a good first impression. I'll keep the fish here. Fish pog. It seems like we're running thin on ideas for what Curse 6 Shooter might be able to do. Oh, did I have two? I haven't had two. Unless you count my test streams. So I did have to discard this stream to make a second one. I may make more streams. It depends on if I can find a decent concept for them. Because this concept, I don't feel like I can do too much. It's kind of got to be special, right? Stun a card for a turn. Okay, I can get behind that. We've got about 4 decent ideas. Let's see if we can turn that into one decent idea. And then maybe we could wrap off the stream. You know, we've come to a head. We've finished an entire row of cards. I like the idea of placing counters, and once it reaches X counters, it gets sent to the graveyard. I like that idea too. I like a lot of these ideas, so maybe my opinion isn't so helpful. I'm seeing a lot of applause. I think they're all specifically from Ronan, who's having the time of his life. Ooh, I had to tell you, for now, Rougen was only in the lands of English, but I spread the word to Brazil because I'm Brazilian. That's really cool. Now, I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. I believe they speak Spanish in Brazil? Or do they speak a different language? Is that offensive? I really hope it's not. I genuinely don't know. I'm uncultured if that wasn't obvious. But if I could find some way to get like any kind of subtitles on my videos, I only know English and German. It's Portuguese. Okay, thank you. I understood that it was one of the Romance languages. I just didn't know which one specifically. Uh, okay, the emojis are getting out of hand. It's making it a little bit difficult to read other people's stuff. I made these cards. It's Portuguese. It's fine. Okay, thank you. You made me a card, Coral. Oh, I'm flattered. I'll be immortalized in print forever. You can subtitle. I mean, my videos are very long, though, so I wouldn't expect anyone to do that but me. The only languages I'm familiar with acutely are English and German, so I don't think I'd be of any help. I don't really have a German audience per se. What's changed? Oh, welcome back, Clueless. Golly. But you have to allow that in the video for subtitles. Hmm. I can get behind that, for sure. I just need to know how to do that. I don't know if editing it will ruin any of the current statistics that it has written on it. If it does, I may very well just want to do it for future videos and not change the ones that have already been the way that they are. If it doesn't affect them, though, I think I'd be more than happy to set them all to be like that. I only have about 15 uploads. Equip this to a card. That card gains 6 attack and 0 defense. Remember this card? Whenever the equip card destroys another, your opponent has to discard a card. That's exceptionally good. That could be a full effect equip tutorial. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm really glad that you commented. It takes a lot of faith. It's like built in on YouTube. Okay. You re-downloaded Discord, just Coral? All right, gang, we're cutting it a little bit thin to try and figure out the effect for Cursed Six Shooter. So I'm gonna call it here. I'm not gonna be accepting any. Welcome back, Spectre. I'm not gonna be accepting any more ideas for what it might be. I'm just gonna see with the current concurrent 10 viewers watching. Let's see if we can figure this out together on what Cursed Six Shooter may involve. Watch a tutorial. That's what you were saying, Kazoo. We've already got that idea, Coral. I didn't forget about you. Don't you worry. I'm 100% down pat for what you said, which is make it have stun. I agree. That's a cool concept. But is there another concept that more people would enjoy? I want to make sure that the vast majority, the preponderance of people are really enjoying what they're seeing right now. Because I want to make sure that these cards really do embody the people who are willing to show up to this stream, which some people weren't fortunate enough to be able to influence the card's design, but they can be fortunate enough to influence the card's effect. Wait, I have 1 hour to upload the game. Sorry, I have to go. Well, it was nice to meet you, Kazoo. You have a nice time. Hope to see you on the Discord soon enough. What if it had like a poison effect? Hmm. Well, let's see. What if it did have a poison effect? Wait, no, we're not accepting any more ideas. We've gone through the idea situation. You're just trying to trick me. Can you make a how to play video? I thankfully already have. You can actually find that upload in my previous videos if you want to go ahead and. What card is this for? Good question for people who are just coming in. Uh, we have Cursed Six Shooter here in the very middle. Uh, that's the card we're making this for. It's almost certainly an equip card. We've got that down pat. We know that it's either going to involve discarding cards, or it's going to have counters on it that destroys it, or it's going to have stun. That we're pretty well familiar with. The question is, which of that are we going for? I like my first or third idea most. I know that you're partial to your own ideas, Serge. I can't wait to see the cursed fully finished. Well, thank you. I can't wait to see it either. If they ever tell me what it's supposed to do, I like the counter one. The counter one's an interesting concept for sure. Discarding cards, rolling a dice, discarding cards equal that counter, and then gaining plus one for each counter number rolled. I love your style of cards. Thank you, Coral. Cat's Universe says cats. The discarding one makes total sense as well. Don't get me wrong. Are we going to have to roll the dice again? I will roll the dice again. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, previously we had a very big stalemate on what the effect of Snake Charmer would be. And so, to accommodate for that, we just took the people who were interested and we rolled the dice to decide on which was going to be the effect we actually used. That may very well have to happen again. Guess we'll see. It could be that they sell this one peacefully, but I mean, might not. Spectre, because you haven't been here for a little while, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to just post whatever effect idea you have for a cursed six shooter. But generally speaking, we're done. No more effect ideas because you are gone. I'll go ahead and let you do it. But everyone else, they've hit their deadline. Cat had their chance. Ronan had their chance. Serge had their chance. Mega had their chance. Laszlo had their chance. I think they did. I don't know how long Laszlo's been here. They haven't commented super much. Let's just do the dice. That'll be easier, not gonna lie. All right. Let's make sure that we've got this 100% right then. So go ahead and whoever had an idea for a card, go ahead and post your idea and then pick a number between 1 to 6. If we have more people than 6, I can go ahead and use a D8, or I can use this is a D8, right? No, this is a D9 or D10. I mean, this is a D8. Yes, and then I can use the D12 if we have more than that, and I can go grab my D20 if I don't have that. Let's use the dice. So post your idea for what you think that this should do, and then just pick a number. So you're halfway there, Ronan. You got the number down. Just pick an effect and write that down as well. Okay, Clueless. So previously, what we did, because we were at stalemate, deciding what the effect of the Snake Charmer was, we had everyone pick their effect, and because they couldn't decide on what they wanted to do, they rolled a dice. And then that decided which person's effect it was going to be. Okay, Laszlo's got his effect down, but doesn't have his number just yet. Cursed Gun equips, Cursed Six Shooter, equips to this card. When it attacks, the opponent must discard a card at random, and I'm choosing number 6. Okay, Mega's the first person who's got it. We know Mega's got the number 6. Oh no, my phone's at 4%. That'll be fun. Number 1, effect. Equip this to a card. It gains 6 attack. Whenever that card will be attacked, place a counter on it. When this reaches counters, when it reaches 3 counters, it sends it to the graveyard. Okay, so Laszlo just wants to go with Surge's effect. That's fine. I'll be happy to add you in just a second, Coral. Roll a 6-sided die. Curse the top cards of your opponent's deck equal to the number rolled. Then this creature gains -1/-1 to a minimum of 1/1 at the start of each standby phase. So that's a Yu-Gi-Oh player. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh player right there. Did you pick a number, Spectre? Gotta pick a number, Spectre. Effect 2. Equip this to a card. It gains 6/0. When that card will be destroyed. You can't have more than one effect. That's cheating, sir. Cat picked 6 but didn't give an effect. That's interesting. That's a new strategy. Let's make sure that we got these down pat, okay? So the numbers that have been taken right now are 1. 1 was owned by Mega. Spectre's picked 5. Roll a d6, discard the amount on the die, and the amount you discarded. The amount you discarded -6, you may place the amount on it, and it gains +1/+1 on the board. Ronan, do you have a number? thought I was 6. Did you not pick 1, Mega? I thought I was effect. Let's make sure I got this right. I don't want to screw it up. You can be 6 for sure, Mega. Mega did choose the number 6. You're right. Good call, Mega. And then Surge picked 1. That's where I got confused. All right, we still have 3 more options, those being 2, 3, and 4. For anyone who still has an idea but hasn't posted yet, who isn't Mega, Spectre, and Surge. Surge, you can't have multiple ideas. Naughty, naughty. Unless you win, in which case I'll just let you do whatever you want. Okay, Cat is going with Mega. That's fine. I know that I believe Laszlo's also going for Surge. Does anybody else have any ideas before we get down to business, down to brass tacks? Could I use a second account without telling you? It wouldn't affect things super much, I don't think. Because if you just had 2 unique effects, that you'd still be losing and winning at the same time. Now is not the time, big bro. Yeah. You want to come in? It's a live stream. Yeah. They want me to use the purple dice. Okay, if you insist. Are we ready to roll? Those of you who were here a second ago should know that you need to tell me to shoot. So anyone who's currently sitting here, so Mega Spectre and Surge, I need you guys to tell me when to go. Roll a d6, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, plus 3. Yep. Okay, so Cat, you got to pick a number. You didn't pick a number. He picked 3. Okay, now we're somewhere. All right, I see shoot, duel. We got Surge. Are you gonna say something, big bro?
Well, it's kind of like a sudden.
That's real. Okay. Well, we're just about done, as a matter of fact, because we know that Surge is going to be the one who's taking the effect for Curse 6-Shooter. And that is all that we have time for today. Because I'm at 3% on my phone, it's going to die in just about a few seconds. So, Surge, just let me know which one of your 2 effects you're interested in using. I believe you had 2 effects, didn't you? First effect it is, okay. Yeah, that's the fish. I talked about that a little bit. Big bro, say something stupid. Thanks. Alrighty, gang. That's all we have time for. What are you doing? Where are you going? Don't. Okay, bye. That was weird. Can you get a load of that guy? Can you believe him? He wants me to stay online for some reason. I guess we'll see why in just a few seconds. While I'm here, oh, bye, Laszlo. If you have to go, no problem. You should do another stream again soon. I agree, Mega. This is really fun. This was fun. I mean, we rolled a lot of dice. See you, Serge. Now, Big Bro's back. What did you want?
I was gonna throw Yu-Gi-Oh cards on your playmat, but that seemed.
I told you this guy. Now remember, say it with me, gang. I still don't have an outro. This is ridiculous. It's untenable. I cannot believe I do not have an outro. This isn't even